as you know, Svalbard is a bank which is accessible to about everybody, and any gene bank in this world can duplicate germplasm into this specific gene bank, and this is for self-duplication purposes. So the idea is that whatever we have here, we send a copy to Svalbard, and if something happens here, like because of the building could be destroyed because of fire, or because of people stealing it, or because of political instability, we can go back to this other deposit, Svalbard, and we can regenerate the plant that we initially collected over the last 30 years. Last year we shipped maybe a third of our collection, so this includes cowpea, maize, Bambara groundnut, wild vigna species, some African yam bean. So the first year it was 1/3 of the collection. Now we are going to ship over the next 5 years, so progressively. And this year I think we are going to ship more or less 5,000 accessions again, in maybe more or less 10 boxes. And the reason why we have to ship progressively is because we cannot, first we don't have the seed stock of all the accession so that we can ship all at once. And also we have to keep in mind that once we send the seed there, although they are in optimal storage condition, they are going to progressively lose their viability. And we cannot take the risk that they all become, lose their viability at the same time, and then we have to reship everything at the same time. So all the shipment to Svalbard will have taken 6 years. These are the mandate crop for ITA, so it's always cowpea, the main one. Then Bambara, maize, African yam bean, soya bean, and I think that's about, yeah, that's all, yeah. So it's basically 6 species. 5 crop and 1 underused species. The shipment is planned for the first week of June, but the important thing is that Svalbard is not a gene bank as a normal gene bank. It only opens 4 times a year. So when we ask the people if we can send, we have to decide, we have to select a window where dates between which we can send, because we are going to consolidate shipment from various countries in this world, and everything goes to Oslo. But then from Oslo there is a small plane that goes to Svalbard. So we cannot ship directly to Svalbard because there is not so many shippers, and that's the way the gene bank is working. So we are actually shipping for the second opening of the year, because the last one was in April. We ship from Nigeria to Oslo in the first week of June, and then it goes to Svalbard, I think, after the 15th of June. Yeah. So it will be there by second half of June. Of course, it's not the shipment per se, but it's the whole concept of conservation. Because today we have a serious problem worldwide, is the genetic erosion. We are losing agrobiodiversity at a very high rate. So it means that, as I talk to you now, there are some interesting genotype of various crops which are disappearing from the field because they are progressively replaced by elite genotype, or maybe because there is a serious urbanization in some area, or maybe there is a disease that is actually destroying some of the gene pool. So the gene bank itself tried to take as much as possible of the diversity and bring it into this ex situ conservation condition. And the shipment to Svalbard is a component of the conservation on its own. So it's like it's a backup of the main conservation. So we cannot just have Svalbard, because Svalbard is just a storage, basically. It's like a huge deep freeze, because it's in a cold area of this world. The energy cost is low and is remote, so okay, the risk of losing it is low. So yeah, that's the whole point, is that in this diversity which is lost every day, there are some interesting genes that might solve some of the problem for the future generation. Like it can be disease resistance, but also drought tolerance resistance. The diversity itself is the treasure of the gene bank.